If you enjoy the video and my content, please consider supporting my channel over on Patreon at patreon.com/katydidart. Thanks so much! Wahaha! Welcome back to Inktober 2018. Today I'm going to be painting day number 27 for you all, and today's theme is, for me, it was Venom / Poison. It was kind of like where you could decide on you know, what you wanted to do for this prompt. I decided to go with Poison, just because all the ideas I had for Venom were very, they were different. They were like somebody being bitten by something venomous or whatever, so yeah, so I thought Poison would be a little bit more fun to illustrate, so yeah, so that's what I did. And I'm not even gonna lie, even when painting this prompt, I had a lot of trouble coming up with something, and that's kind of the theme lately of some of these later pieces. Is actually I had a lot of trouble coming up with some theme ideas for some of these, and I don't know if that can be attributed to a little bit of burnout, or maybe if it's just I just didn't have any ideas. I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest. It's not that I'm burnt out necessarily, but I'm definitely ready to be done with Inktober. I'm definitely ready to just hibernate a little bit. I'm not even gonna lie. But it's been fun, and honestly, I am super glad that I stuck with it. And obviously, I've already finished all 31 days because I've already ordered my books, and I'm super excited to share them with you, as I say every time I talk about them. But anyway, so yeah, so for this piece, I decided to draw a person who is brewing up a very poisonous potion, and yeah, and then honestly, that's pretty much the premise of the piece, and she's about to poison somebody with it, probably. Maybe somebody she really doesn't like, or maybe she sells her potions for people who just want to buy them, I guess. That would be a lucrative business, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's really what I went for, and a lot of this is very slowed down. I believe it's like 1.5 times, so it's almost real time. So yeah, you pretty much get to see what I'm doing in close to real time, and that's always fun, right? I don't generally like posting real-time videos just because I feel like they're boring. I feel like I don't know, I feel like you guys get bored of seeing me do things slowly, but I do know that there are a lot of people out there who like real-time videos, so here's one for you all. One thing I wish I had done was the background first, because I'm now having to try to paint around all of the green blobs, and it kind of ruined some of the parts, and I ended up having to, as you can probably see, paint over some pieces of the ink, but that's okay, you know, you live and you learn. So anyway, if you're interested in this piece or any of my other Inktober pieces in my 2018 art book titled Into the Swamp, pre-orders are closing very soon. They will be closing in 3 days, so that'll be on October 30th. And I also have pre-orders for my acrylic pins, and those are also closing on October 30th. So if you are interested in getting a discounted price and you're also interested in getting pre-order bonuses, certainly head over to my store and check them out. There will be a link on the screen that'll pop up and be like, hey, there's pre-orders here. So if you're interested in checking them out, you know, once the pre-orders end, like, the products aren't going to be gone, but they are limited, so you might want to get them while you can. Anywho, there is a topic I would like to talk about today, and that is limited color palettes. I have been doing them pretty much all Inktober, and I thought I would talk about them. Of course, I do plan on doing like a full video on something like this, but I don't know, I just wanted to chat. So I like doing limited color palettes. I didn't used to. Whenever I first started doing art, it was like very enticing to use every single color that existed, just because they were enticing. Like when you buy paint sets or colored pencil sets, there's so many colors and you just feel like you need to use them all right now, right then, right there. And as I've kind of grown in my art, I've learned that limited color palettes can really kind of pull a piece in a direction, and it can also just kind of, I don't know, help tie in a mood of a piece, and also, I don't know, just they're fun to do, and again, you're limiting yourself, so you're also learning a little bit, and I really enjoy them. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with using every color of the rainbow if you want, because there are some awesome pieces where people use so many colors, and I do too. I mean, there are some pieces where I use a ton of colors, But one thing I really like to do is limited color palettes. And again, like I said, I've already kind of covered this, but I do them a lot, especially in these videos. So for this one, I'm using a lot of greens, and I will be using like purples, and then I have the background color, which is, I'm actually not sure. I think it's a mix of green and muted gray, if I'm not mistaken. I believe I mix those two together instead of using black. Maybe I used black. I honestly don't remember. I did this days ago. And then of course I used a skin tone-ish color, so that's kind of a given. And I also wanted to tie it into another piece, so I will be adding like brown somewhere else in the piece. But basically with a limited color palette, you want to obviously limit the colors you're using. But another thing is you want to kind of tie it into the piece. So like you don't want to just use like one color in one space just so it doesn't make sense, if that makes any sense. So like for instance, the green of the smoke, or the poofy puffy stuff, isn't only in the pot in the smoke, it's also in the vials that she's reaching for and in the color of her eyes. And the pot that I am currently painting, I guess a cauldron, that's probably a better term for it, is like a mix between black and purple, but I will also put it somewhere else. I think I put purple in her hair, if I'm not mistaken. And actually I think her lips end up being purple. Don't quote me on that. There is one color that doesn't really go much further than just one spot, and that will be her clothing. But I also think I end up adding it to one of her little potion vials. And then again, I mix her skin tone, like I do a darkened version of the skin tone, and I add it to be like her little cabinet thing. And I also add it into her little stir stick spoon thing she's got going on over there. But pretty much, in my opinion, limited color palettes really tie a piece together and they make it make sense instead of having a bunch of colors everywhere. Like I already mentioned, you can do a bunch of colors everywhere because sometimes they just look cooler that way. But in my opinion, it's really fun just to try to challenge yourself and see if you can work with a limited color palette. And honestly, in my opinion, I feel like they help you grow as an artist because again, you are challenging yourself to use limited colors, but you also have to be crafty with how you place your colors, and so you're not like having all purples on one side and all greens on the other side, but you're kind of like balancing the piece out with certain colors here and there. And I don't know how to explain it. I really like limited color palettes, and they're really fun for me, and I don't know, and plus they help me use my colors together without, I don't know, they just like help me decide like new color combos. That's probably what I'm trying to say here. And they also help me use colors maybe that I normally don't use, because I don't really use purple too much in my art, even though my printer would tell me otherwise because I'm always printing with magentas and stuff like that. But I feel like I don't use that many purples, I guess. So now I am fine lining the piece to make it, you know, have more details and stuff. And if you do want to know any and all supplies that I'm using specifically in the video, I will always have a supply list in the description below. Or you can check out my Inktober tips and supplies video where I go over my general supplies that I'm going to be using this Inktober. And I will have a video card pop up for that. So yeah, I think whenever I fine line this piece, I kind of butchered it a little bit. I didn't necessarily butcher the whole piece. I think that I could have stood to have been more patient with my inking, I think. But that doesn't mean I don't like it, because I actually like this piece. It's a fun little piece, and I got to use some colors I don't really use. Like, I use a lot of greens in my art, but I don't really use too many purples and pinks, and it was a fun little challenge for me. It was something different, and she's really cute. She's just picking out her potions so she can make herself a little poison. But yeah, this piece is really fun to work on, and as you can kind of tell, as Inktober winds down, I'm definitely more focused on more simplistic pieces, because doing a drawing every day gets really tedious and it is very easy to burn out. But that is a topic for another video. I do want to thank you all so incredibly much for watching this video. You guys have been real troopers, sticking around for so far 27 days. You all are super incredible, and I just appreciate you all so much. And yeah, I love you all so incredibly much. So we're reaching the end of the video, and I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up just because I can, I guess. But yeah, if you want to follow me on any and all of my social media, I will have links in the description below, and I'm going to be posting my pictures over there for all of my Inktober doodles, so you can go check them out and keep updated on that. And plus, I usually post other things on my social media, so if you are interested in any of that, go check them out. As I've already mentioned, these pre-orders are going to be ending soon, so I have a store link in the description as well as in the iCard if you want to go check all that stuff out, or just my general store in general. But anyway, here's a look at the final piece. Thank you all so incredibly much for watching again. If you aren't already and you want to be a part of our cute squid pod, there will be a subscribe button down below, as well as a bell notification button. If you click that, you get notified on when I upload new videos. And yeah, until tomorrow, my adorable squidlings, toodaloo! That was better.